I welcome you to another episode of another Aditya Talks. And today we have Mr. Rahul on our show. He's a very interesting person who has done a lot of research in the field of educative toys, and he's going to transform the toy industry in the next few years, and he's going to prove that toys are not necessarily for enjoyment and all, but they're for learning as well. So he's going to share a critical lesson with us today. And welcome to the show, and watch till the end, my viewers, because today you're going to learn a lot. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you for having me here.
Yes, sir. So the pleasure is mine, by the way. And sir, for the benefit of our viewers, so that they can know about you a little, please tell us about your story. How did you reach this point in your life, and what is your background, and where do you work currently?
Okay. So right now I'm only running Vigya Toys. Uh, I have sailed for 20 years. I have sailed only on oil tankers. So I've sailed all around the world. Uh, uh, Thing with me is that I get fed up of doing anything over and over again. So shipping is lot about repetition. Doing the same job again and again. So I try to do it differently every time. The same crude oil has to be unloaded from ship to the shore. So there can be many ways, right? So I used to make it interesting, doing it different ways. I try to find enjoyment in the repetitive jobs also, but there has had to be a limit. And I gained enough of engineering knowledge, which I thought I could share with children. And medium I have selected is toys. You know, so toy can uh, every child love toys. They want all kinds of toys. Whatever they see, they want, right? So that attracts them a lot. So if it becomes a medium of learning also, so then there is some point in developing, such. If I can develop such toys which can give you enjoyment, you know, the toys which are very unique, which are not available in the market till now, right? And I have added, an element of transparency in my first toy. I've only come out with my first toy right now, but the same concept I will take it forward. Uh, how the mechanism works. Suppose you buy a car, but you turn the key, it goes up to there, right? But how it goes, you know, I want children to question this, that how it works. And if they question, they should get an answer also, that how it is working. If suppose that car was a transparent car, you could see gearboxes, you could see the spring, at least you will have some idea that as to how it is working, right? And if you can see, and if you can read through a manual, which says that how the gearboxes are working, how much tightened you have done the spring, so you can understand things. So I want kids to learn, enjoy, and learn together. So that came to my mind last year only. So I quit my job. I've taken a risk. I've got two kids. But still, the idea interested me so much that I have jumped into it. And let's see how people respond.
Yes, sir. So that was a really a great thing you said, and you have a very great passion for your work, and that's what we can see on this, sir. Now, what are your beliefs and commitments to this work, and what do you think it's going to what do you think it's going to be in the future? What is your vision for it?
I think that uh, generation by generation, the kids are becoming more and more smarter. They are much more intelligent. I see my daughters. I see you. I could not have imagined doing this kind of talk in. I mean, I'm still stammering. You see, and you are doing it when you are in seventh grade. So kids are very, very intelligent these days. They have very good grasping capabilities. But they have not been given good medium through which they can gain experience and uh, they can learn. Learning can be from many ways, right? But if suppose a toy which you like, right, which you like and which you love, and it teaches you something, and it is suppose it is manual. You are operating it with your own hand, right? So you will never the experience that you will gain from that, you will never forget in your lifetime, right? So that is our goal and our commitment also, that we want to design such toys which kids should enjoy. The first thing that is not going anywhere, that has to be there, and together with enjoyment, they should be learning n number of things, you know and not only that, if you provide a toy which they cannot see inside how it is working, then not too many questions will come to their mind, right? So it should be designed in such a way that a kid should ask questions. Kids are very good in asking questions. Once you grow older, say, once you will, Aditya, you will become 25 years old, no, you will form a definite opinion, then nobody can tell you anything. Most people stop questioning things, right? But kids, they ask very, very relevant questions, and I just want to provide them answers.
Yes, sir. That is really interesting, sir. Now, what is the story behind the name Vigya, and what do you think makes Vigya different from other toys throughout in the circulation in today's markets?
So we were thinking of a name. So uh, we were thinking something which is directly related to education and science. So Vigya, I mean, in it is a Sanskrit word, Vigya, which means a learned or a knowledgeable person. But in English, you have to attach an A, so it became Vigya. So there is no perfect word in English for Vigya. So it is actually called Vigya. So I want to create knowledgeable uh, and learned person. So the name, that is the story behind it.
Yes, sir. Um, can you explain your first product? I see it behind you, there for our viewers. Can you just like show a live demonstration of it?
Uh, I haven't filled water in it, but this is what it is. So the tank is below. We need to fill water in this, and it has got few valves. Then, and once you pump, it will draw water from the tank and it will recirculate. So not only that, you need not necessarily use this tank. So if you remove this thing and put it in a jug of water, from there also it can pump. So it can pump from anywhere.
Yeah.
So
So
the
basically,
fun part, you
yeah.
can see what you cannot see is that it has got two non-return valves, right? So it First, let me go into the history of hand pump. So for very very long time, it has been a primary source of drawing groundwater. So now, since the groundwater level has gone down, this technology is no more relevant. But in a few decades ago, you know, everyone would have seen this hand pump. But people operating the hand pump, whether they are operating for say 10 years, they may not have known how it works, because those were opaque hand pumps, right? You cannot see inside which valves are working, what is working, right? But this is a fully transparent one, right? And how it works, it is has got non-written valves. It has got piston and cylinder assembly, lifts water against the gravity. So children can have a lot of fun. But if I say there is a non-written valve, a child, I am expecting a child to ask first question, what is a valve, right? So a valve is a thing. So if that line of questioning is there, no, if you ask the correct questions, then you can understand a lot of things. You know, uh, one of my main job out at sea was maintenance and operation of valves, right? And if I'm good at it, then I can become a very good chief officer, right? So important are you know. So what is a valve? A valve is something which it controls the flow of a liquid or a gas in a pipeline, right? So what is a non-return valve? Non-return valve is a valve which allows flow only in one direction, right? So if if these questions uh, are shown to not only asked, it is shown, and when it works, you can see the valve going up and down. And since it is transparent, you can easily see how it works. Then there is piston and cylinder assembly, right? Simplest form of piston and cylinder assembly would be a syringe. When you pull out the piston of a syringe, the liquid goes inside. When you press, it goes back, it goes out, right? But in hand pump, piston goes up, it draws in the water, but when it goes down, it does not push back the water back into the tank. Now, why does that happen? Because the piston has got one non-return. I mean, it may be a little different to understand at one go, but once I will send you the toy, and you will once you see, you will understand it very very clearly. And if you ask the right questions, uh, you will be able to understand a lot more than that. Now, where else a piston and cylinder assembly is there? I mean, in every car engine, in every bike engine, there is this piston and cylinder assembly. So this is just a simple, poor hand pump. But if by help of this, if you understand how the piston and cylinder assembly works, you are ready to learn about car engine or a bike engine or a compressor. This assembly is found many places. You know, so uh, so that is what I'm trying to showcase. I give you a sample of a technology which is used at many places, and but it is also there in your toy. If you understand the concept here, you will be future ready, and you will understand lot of machinery, lot of things in the future very very easy. So that is the direction Vigyatoy has taken.
Yes, sir. Okay. Sir, um, now you have given such a great information on this. So, where and how can people buy this product? and support you for your future endeavors into this hugely untapped market.
So it is listed on Amazon, Amazon India only till now. I'm planning to export it also, so it will be listed on Amazon.com also. So right now, it's available throughout India on Amazon in. So you have to find Vigya Toys water hand pump assembly kit, and for supporting there is uh, for supporting uh, you you upload a video, what you have understood from this, like, you know I will be fair with you. It has been, the fun part I've been able to convey to people, right? That this was there in history of drawing groundwater, and you can play with it. There are very few water-based toys. You are yourself a kid, how many water-based toys you have. There are very few available, and yeah, children need some connect with water. So given all that, uh,
Question. So now that is very interesting. Now, what are your future plans? Any ideas you can give to our audience about your upcoming ideas on your product? What are you going to
uh,
do? Maybe a little tease.
okay. So I've always worked on pumps, valves, pipelines. So those things interest me a lot, and there is a lot of knowledge inside my head, which I can pass on. So this is a reciprocating pump, right? It goes through to and fro, so you pump the handle and the water comes up. That is why it is called reciprocating, going to and fro. So next would be a centrifugal pump, where you will have an impeller, which would turn, and which would churn the liquid in such a way that it throws out towards its periphery, and that is how it creates the pressure, and it would pump, right? So pumping of liquid has various methods. One method is this one. Again, I'm going to bring water-based toys because there are very few. And again, I'm going to make a pump, but of a different kind, and it will again be manual. I'm not. There is lot of electronic toys. There is lot of screen time for children. Those things are everything. Those things are very available. But the part which kids are missing, the manually operated toys, all manually operated. So and it will uh, you cannot turn an impeller, say, at 1,000 RPM, right? 1,000 rotation per minute. It would be very difficult to rotate an impeller at 1,000 RPM, right? So there would be a gearbox, right? What does a gearbox do? You turn one round, and impeller will turn 1,000 round. So it will have a 1:1,000 gearbox, and then it will have an inductor also, which would explain, which works on knowledge principle. So a little bit of physics, little bit of my own experience. I'm mixing it all, and will in this path, and develop, all unique toys.
Yes, sir. Um, Thank you for sharing those interesting things. And sir, we we uh, we have like while watching you by viewers, sir, you have like how long have you started this startup, and what is your motivation and inspirations that keeps you going uh, forward and working on this?
Okay. It's only been 1.5 years. So this toy has just about 2 months it has come out in the market. Uh, and the motivation that I get, I'll share a story. How the idea clicked. My younger daughter is 8 years old. It is not a coincidence that this toy is also for 8 years and above. So we went to a place called Devghar, and there it's a it's a religious place. So most of the people when they come back, they buy a toy while coming back. So me and my wife went there. We bought a small, this size water hand pump, probably a Chinese made, and very small. And the shopkeeper somehow shown us that it works. When we came back, my daughter was very excited to see it, and she asked what it can pump water. But yes, she tried, and it didn't work. She was so very upset. So I later on, it clicked me that I will do it for my younger daughter, right? Even if it sells or doesn't sell, or whatever happens, at least one good thing will happen, that I will satisfy my daughter. Right? So then I bought a few equipments. It is still installed in my house. A small lathe machine, a small drilling machine, and all that. I made a prototype on my own. It worked. It did satisfy my daughter. She was very happy when it started pumping. uh, so that is my motivation. Smile on the faces of children. Be it my daughter, be it you, or be it any other kid. They, when they smile, and once someone explains them something, and when they understand something, and then they use it, the expression on their face would be very different. I love that look. you know so that is my motivation to go on.
Yes, sir. That was very interesting to hear. But sir, uh, how can anyone support you in this mission, and how can we do that? Any way we can contribute?
um yeah, what kind of toys you would like to have, and what kind of technologies you want to learn about. If I get those two things, what kind of toy and what kind of technology, I can add the two, and design toys which kids would love, and at the same time learn what they want to learn.
Yes, sir.
So that way they can assist me largely.
Yes, sir. That okay, sir. My viewers, check out the Amazon link. Check out sir's Facebook page, and please follow sir for more inspiration, and of course more new products which he's going to launch shortly. And so, and by the way, viewers, um please watch till the end. And what are your learnings? If you have learned anything up until now, just share your views in the comments below. And yeah, let's continue, sir. Sir, please advise 5 things that you think every child should do in the 21st century, first century, to prepare themselves for the future challenges they will face in life.
So, that is a tough one. I seriously believe, that whatever interests you, you do it in your childhood. Don't think too much about future. Uh, and today's child, that many of them understands that this is the best time they are going to have in their life. You know, the you may have seen your parents or elders. They always remain tense and all that. So first thing, eh, the we have to pamper ourselves. We have to keep ourselves mentally and physically. For that, enjoyment is the first thing. Uh, People have unnecessarily become very, very, uh, how to say, they 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 are too much laborious these days. They don't they take things too seriously. I mean, that has to change, at least for the childhood. The childhood has to be full of fun. That is the first and foremost thing a child needs to do, to have a healthy future. You stay happy, you keep people around you happy. That is the best thing to you can do to prepare yourself for the future. People can talk about a lot of things, but everything has time. Like for example, my elder daughter, she is currently giving appearing for her board exams, 10th board exams. So uh, and her mother is very worried, right? But I tell her that she wants to prepare for IITs. So am I think that she should peak when when she will appear for IIT exam. She should not peak when she is appearing for board exams, right? So taking things lightly, that kids should also understand.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, they are under tremendous pressure. For example, my elder daughter, she will have two board exams this year, and for every board exam, there are two pre-board exams, right? So in an year, there are 12 months, and there are six exams, right? So, I mean, when she would get time to do anything else, right? So there is a lot of pressure on kids these days. So if they can handle that pressure very simply, very easily, and parents can do a lot. They should not pressure on them. They allow them to do whatever they like. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
20, yeah, uh, and you will be prepared for 21st century any which way. There is so much of information. There is so many things available these days. Uh, 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 you don't need to indulge in each and everything, thinking that this is important for me. There is time for everything, and a child need to understand also that they don't need to be at the top all the time. If my elder daughter has to appear for IIT, she should not peak when she is giving her 10th board exam. She should peak when the time comes. That patience you should have, and that patience a kid should allow themselves to have. Like you understand a lot more than other kids. Maybe. But that doesn't mean that you pressurize yourself because you know so. I mean, it should liberate you. It should ease you off. So, you know, please chill, please enjoy. That is my advice to the children.
Yes, sir. Thank you and for sharing your views. And yes, sir, this is the most important advice. Just focus on what you want to do, and don't let anything tense you up. So,
Yeah.
um, a few books you think every child should read in the 21st century, maybe. Yeah, like from ages 8 to maybe 15 or something like that. Some books that you consider worthwhile reading.
I'm really sorry, Aditya. Sailors are generally not good readers. So you know, uh, for us, our ship is our book, you know. So that consumes all of our time, right? So when I was sailing, I was not getting much of a free time. I was not allowed to have an hobby. I'm not giving an excuse, but generally, sailors have hard skills rather than soft skills, you know. So I'm not a fit person to advise which books to read uh, to be future ready. But having said that, you know, I would advise that uh, you know, experience is always much more helpful than words. You know. So the wherever you can gain a little bit of experience, no? uh, like you know, you have background of sea behind. For no books can teach you swimming, right? You have to experience it to, you know, you have to experience the water, you have to go into the water to learn swimming, right? So I mean, experience wherever you get, you can have. What kind of experience a child can have, you know, you meet people, you talk to people. That way you can learn very very easily. Whatever doubts you have, whatever questions comes to your mind, you know, you, by talking to people, by meeting new people, by listening to their experiences, no, you will learn a lot. Your books are not the necessary things. Wherever you can operate something, touch something, don't hesitate. Go ahead and do it. You know, experience, you know, experience gives you hands-on education, right? Hands-on, which stays a lifetime. You can read and forget. So I'm not saying books are bad, but you augment reading with experience, and then it
Yes,
would
sir.
make much more sense.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your perspective. And sir, um, once again, I learned a lot from you and my viewers. I hope you also enjoyed this interview very much. And please check out the Amazon link and see if you learn anything from Mr. Rahul's product. And he has put a lot of energy into this, and he has it is a very important toy that your children should have. So certainly check that link out. And sir, I learned a lot from you, and my viewers, I also hope you enjoyed a lot. Thank you, sir, for coming on the show. And yeah,
Thank you so
it was a
much.
pleasure.
It was so nice talking to you, Aditya. You are doing really great. God bless you.
Yes, sir. So, next question. Sir, please advise two people whom you would like to see and learn from on the show.
Uh, um, so role models need not be. I have a different perspective in this as well. You know, role models need not be famous. You know,
Yes,
so
sir. But
so uh, uh, but I'll complete. Uh, so when I joined my first ship, I had a chief officer. You know, on a ship's in a ship's hierarchy. You know, topmost is captain, and then comes the chief officer, right? So he is the, you know, the action man, you know, who does everything, you know. So captain just has command, and chief officer does all the things on the deck. So when I joined my first ship, the chief officer who was there used to do things so smoothly and so effortlessly, you know. I had seen two chief officers before that on the same ship before him, and then he joined, and he was such flawless in his approach, you know, that he became my role model as far as that profession was concerned, uh, the merchantry profession. So I followed his footsteps and was very successful. And whenever I am on ship, I'm always a very important man, just because of that person. So I mean, it's a good thing to have a role model, who is very famous or very rich, but you don't have to look that far. In the vicinity, you will find someone, whom you are in contact with.
Yes.
You can be a role model, as was in my case.
Yes, sir. I agree with you. Role model is not for people who are like rich. Of course, that is just a side thing. But ultimately, a role model should be a person who inspires you, a person who shares his learnings from you, who shares his experience for like with you, a mentor sort of like that. And a role model should be a person who is has the highest values and the things you desire, like highest values in the world. And materialistic things should not affect the status of role model, since that is too great for something so small like money and all. Sir, now that you have shared your interesting view, so two people whom you know you would like to see on this show, some
Okay,
recommendations.
this is. I think you should call someone from. Um,
You should know them. That's a criteria.
oh, that's a tough one. You know, there is no escape. I don't know whether there are few sectors which will bring about many changes in the coming years. One of which is uh, electric vehicle space. So somebody is working with batteries or EVs. If you bring that perspective into your shows, that how world is going away from fossil fuel and embracing renewable energy. So if whoever can share, throw light on that one, because that is a big change, which our generation will see, and your generation will definitely see. You know. Second would be, in India these days. There are a lot of changes happening in agricultural space. So a lot of agri-tech companies has come up. Especially I stay in Bangalore, so I see a lot of ecosystem developing for them. So which will change the way we are cultivating right now. So, for example, if Amazon can deliver anything you want on your doorsteps, these agri-tech companies can deliver whatever farmer needs at their doorstep. Imagine how easy the life of farmer will become. Not only that, their soil can be tested by placing an order on the app, right? They can get a marketplace, you know, on their mobile phone. They can sell their produce on a mobile phone. Imagine those things, what changes that could bring to a farmer's life. So,
Yes.
I mean, those are the two suggestions. So
Yes, sir.
I don't know, concerned people necessarily, but I think, the EV space and agri-tech space. If you get someone from there, your viewers will get benefited, and they will get a new perspective.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. That was a very interesting take, and yeah, I'll approach some people from this industry, and sir, Lastly, I hope you enjoyed this show. Please
Yeah,
advise
very much.
what unique thing you would like, you have liked about Aditya Talks, and any suggestions which should be incorporated to improve the experience of our viewers.
This is again a very tough one. You are so smart. You are so grown up for your age. I mean, I have hardly any suggestion. And anyone who would come to your show, would love talking to you. And keep that smile going. I'm not good in giving it, appearing for interviews, no, but uh, uh, your uh, your you are very courteous. Yeah, you know how to keep things light. So continue what you are doing. I mean, you are doing great. I mean, I can see what great future you have got. I'm really impressed. I hardly have any suggestion to give. I cannot hear you.
Thank you, sir, for those kind words, and I hope we meet in the future. And I hope we have another interview. And my viewers, if you have any questions for Mr. Rahul, you can share them in the comments below. If I interview him the next time, maybe he'll share some answers and would like to give his views on some of those questions. But anyway, sir, I learned a lot, and I hope my viewers you also learned a lot. One more quick reminder: just check out that Amazon link and help sir in his very great project, which I think is going to become very big in the future. And sir, please remember me until then, and I'll take your autograph. Yes, sir.
No. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Aditya, all the best to you. And through you, I mean, uh, viewers, especially younger ones who are watching, uh, think of doing something different, as Aditya is doing. Age is no bar. Whatever interests you, you can do it at any age. And this is so great, Aditya. I'm so impressed.
Thank you, sir. And with this, let's end this episode of Aditya Talks. My viewers, please stay tuned for the next episode next week. Sir, see you again. It was my pleasure to talk to you. Thank you and bye bye.